conversation. We are at Assault Park, Brandon Brown, creating conversation. We just want to thank you for coming out, man.
No, I thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What is Assault? What does Assault mean to you?
Assault Park, Tacoma, Washington. This is my park I grew up at. I mean, I used to live down the street from here. I went to school at Truman. Tons of pickup games here, tons of games coming down here, not getting picked up, being too small or not good enough, and being the kid on the far side of the court who was watching everybody play and just shooting by myself. And so, I mean, I have lots of memories here of being that kid.
You said they didn't pick you, bro?
Yeah, man. I used to be. Yeah. I am still pretty small, but I was probably like 5'5", 5'4" in high school. Didn't hit a growth spurt till late, and so hanging from the pull-up bar trying to grow, man, it was a trip. But yeah, man, I was the one who was too small or not good enough, and so I wasn't getting picked up, and it was hurting me. And so it kind of, the chip on my shoulder started to grow at that age.
07, Wilson. It was a two-man crew. it was a two-man crew for real.
Me and Shed.
I was at being the only two people that could really, you know what I'm saying, create and basically being the whole team. How'd y'all?
Man, it was tough. High school was a rocky road for me basketball-wise. I mean, came in with my boy from middle school, Shed. We came in together, and then he ended up playing varsity, and I played a lower team, and it was just kind of like, damn. I gotta wake up. I gotta take my game to the next level if I want to play up there with my boy. And so I got to the point where I was playing varsity, and it was tough. We were unmanned, two guys trying to take on the whole Narrows League, and we hit a lot of obstacles and ran into a lot of walls, and that was definitely an opportunity for me to grow as well.
Why didn't you leave? You know, in the era that we live in, everybody was transferring, you know what I'm saying? You could go here, you could go here.
No joke, my freshman year, I didn't make varsity. It wasn't a big deal to me. It was like, okay. I gotta earn my stripes, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put in the work. And my sophomore year, I felt like I put in that work, and they were like still not having it. And so summer league, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put in the work in summer league, put in the work, still not having it. And so I honestly went home to my dad and was like, I wanna leave. I wanna go to Mount Tahoma, I wanna go to Foss, I don't wanna be at Wilson, we gotta go. And he's like, if you quit now, you're gonna keep making a habit of just quitting and leaving. He was like, tough it out. You chose Wilson, now you gotta stay there for 4 years.
That mentorship a lot of people lack.
Wherever you go, you're gonna have to compete. I mean, in your head, you can build up this fantasy of, I'm gonna go somewhere and they're gonna tell me I can be the king here, but do you really want that? Do you want somewhere to go where you aren't pushed and aren't forced to work for a goal? You're just giving everything. And so, I mean, I think that's a big part of growth, is having to work for something and not just be giving it right to you.
Where'd you go after high school?
College. So, like I said, me, Shed, we was in middle school together since 6th grade. We went to Wilson together, and then we were like, all right, let's keep it going. Let's go to college, same school. And so we had a lot of junior colleges around here. I had a couple of D3 schools talking to me, and I kind of just made the choice that I want to have an opportunity to play on a bigger stage than Division III basketball. And so
this is coming out of high school. This is your thought process?
Right, this is my thought process coming out of high school. And so I decided that community college was the best route. I would take a year or two to take my talents to a higher level, maybe get my education up at a cheaper rate than one of these big schools, and then maybe prepare myself more mature-wise, just growth mentally, physically for the next level, and put myself in a better opportunity to get a higher school recruiting me.
Something you don't really hear often from somebody, you know, from high school.
And so I was weighing a lot of options, man. I went through the whole thing of maybe I should just apply at schools and just go to school and do this thing for fun. And I kind of was like, back to the same thing, talking to my pops, is like, if you really, really want something, why should you conform and just kind of put it to the side, go after it?
Washington, right in the middle of everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm not on the east side, I'm not on the south side, right in the middle.
Leon is the creator of the NO campaign. It stands for not now or ever, a mantra he clung to as he battled cancer.
20+ years we've been out here, and I love it. I love how connected and rooted I am here. Businesses are flourishing, the diverse, you know, cultural sets that are out here. You have every race, every culture, every religion. You have, you know, great high school athletes and sports out here, you know what I mean? And I love Tacoma. I couldn't move. I can't go away. You know what I'm saying? This is where I'm at.
Let's talk about the brand.
KNOE stands for not now or ever. And basically what it is, it was a mantra that me and my wife started utilizing on a day-to-day basis when we hit the rock bottom point of me battling cancer. And the way we utilized it was almost like the little engine that can, I think. Every day we would just, not now or ever, not now or ever. And what it was aimed towards was not now or ever allowing anything, including this disease, to dictate to my ability to succeed in life. And we went from, 23.5 hours out of the day being in bed, not now or ever, not now or ever, to being up for an hour, not now or ever, to walking in the living room, not now or ever, to being outside, not now, every day we would use it. And it was the motivation that I needed for me to really get through what I was going through at that time. They had told me I was going to die. After I didn't die, they told me I was never going to be able to speak again or eat again. And we just really had a lot of things that were kind of stacked against us, and we just used that phrase to combat all the negative energy that was coming in at those moments. Everybody talks about their wife, like, I have the greatest wife. Like, I legitimately have the most incredible woman I could have ever imagined, and she's a massive blessing in my lifetime, and I appreciate her more than I've ever been able to tell her.
When you hear the word cancer, what do you think?
Man, cancer, it's all-consuming, it's indiscriminate, it matters not young, old, white, black, religious, not rich, poor, it doesn't matter, and it affects so many people, and it's such a horrible disease that I can't tell you one person who isn't directly or indirectly affected by the disease. Whether they themselves have it, a close relative or a friend, everybody knows somebody that has either had it, passed from it, or is fighting the fight right now. Clearly, it shrunk my neck, muscle, and tissue, it broke them all up. It killed my salivary glands. My nose was completely destroyed, it melted shut, so I didn't have any nasal passage anymore. It's altered my voice.
He says, I'm more than a meme. I'm a father, husband, survivor, mentor, community advocate, and positive motivational speaker. Proud to have endured and conquered everything I have. What a stand-up guy.
I'm that meme. I'm the man behind that meme. I understand what I've been through and why I have the appearance that I have. So to me, it's not funny. To my mama, it's not funny. My daddy, my wife, people that know me, it's not funny. So I was embarrassed. I was mad, of course. And then after all of that, I felt it necessary for me to take a stand and not rant, not attack, not, I felt like I needed to put the facts out there. I needed to present myself how I need to be presented, represent myself how I need to be represented. I can't be mad at someone for doing something that they don't know anything about.
I remember one summer we was just all hooping and everything, and I felt like I was kind of keeping up with you a little bit. And then I remember you came back the next summer and they were like, yeah, Brandon, he's kind of hooping overseas. He's supposed to be going over to Brazil. And I was like, him? I've been keeping up with him a little bit in basketball. You know, I ain't no scrub or nothing like that, but I was like, you know, maybe I can go hoop overseas and everything. Man, as soon as we get in that first game, no, man, he started jacking up them threes, jacking up those shots, man. I was like, okay, he might be up there.
He might be.
Finished college. I was a 2-time first-team All-American, 2-time Conference Player of the Year. Hired an agent right out. Signed with a team in Australia. Came home for a little bit, and then signed with a team in Brazil. And I mean, in between all that was, I don't know, countless hours in the gym, shooting machines, with a trainer, by myself, with friends, just putting in work. I mean, it's always something you can do. It's always something you can work on. You're never too good, you know what I mean? You never heard nobody saying he's too good. And so I just felt like if I want to take my game to the next level as a professional, I can't be the same player I was in college. I was putting the hours in, and I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't something I didn't feel like I was like, I got to go to the gym again. It was like, I want to go to the gym again.
When you get some success like that, it's like you could either be content with it.
For sure.
Boom, I'm the man, get cocky a little bit. Or you could see the success and then see the light ahead, like, okay, I'm doing this. I've been working hard to get here. I'm here. Now what can I do to keep improving? When was the first time where you're like, oh, my game's at a different level? Like, you know what I'm saying? It went from.
Oh man, I would say my redshirt year. Honestly, my redshirt year, I was consumed by, this isn't a year off. This is not a break. This is a year for you to take advantage of being smaller, being younger, because I graduated high school at 17, and so it gave me a chance to grow. And so I was like consumed by the fact of, you have a year to just train and get better, and next year you'll be a sophomore again.
You had the mental aspect down. You know what I'm saying? You to really take the red shirt chip, you know, and put it in a positive light and really get better. Some people could have took that, you know what I'm saying, crawled up into a ball,
right,
got in their feelings.
Right.
Nah, if your mental was in the right place, you were able to feed off that and be great because of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing we want to really get at when we're talking to the kids, when we're talking to anybody who wants to follow in our footsteps. It's like
complete opposite of what you're used to.
You know what I'm saying? You could be the most athletic person in the world. If you don't have the mental capacity to really, really want something for yourself,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Then all that athleticism, all the talent, it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
Highline, Montana, Australia.
Yeah.
So that's Tacoma, or nah, but you know what I'm saying, our western part of the state,
right, to
Montana, that was just totally different.
Yeah.
To Australia, which is even totally different.
Right.
Than that. How was it? Did you get homesick?
I didn't get homesick. Montana kind of molded me into that. Being 10 hours away was, okay, I can't just go home. And so I was able to be fine being away from my family, especially with all this technology, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, Montana. And I had my goal set, and so I was prepared to go overseas and play. And so when I had my opportunity to go, I got on the flight, packed my bags, and went all in. And it was definitely an adjustment, but at the same time, I was just enjoying the ride, man. I was like, I'm here, but at the same time, I had that same mentality and that same chip on my shoulder from when I was playing here to that same chip on my shoulder my redshirt year to going and in as a sophomore in Montana, and then going over there and going, okay, I've made it, but you ain't really made it.
Yeah.
Now, show them that you can stay here and maintain being a professional, okay? If you can maintain being a professional, how can you stick out and be an elite professional?
How is it playing Australia League competition, Brazil League competition to compare to when you were back here?
For me, the biggest thing I noticed, players were just as fast as me and could move laterally just as quick as I could. And so the speed was what I had to adjust to, is that I'm not just blowing by people now. People are sticking with me. And with that comes learning new ways to be crafty and learning and improving your game even more.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can't be the same player I was in college, or I'm not gonna be successful at this next level. And so, like I said, ran into some walls there and adjusted, and then took it to Brazil and hit the ground running in Brazil. Played in my first league in Brazil, played in the second league, and averaged 30. I was just hungry, chip on my shoulder again, like I got something to prove. It's a whole new country, whole new environment. And so went, killed that league, then had the opportunity to go up to the first league, and that's where I've been playing for the last 2 years. And it's high level basketball. Played against some Olympians, played against some ex-NBA guys. I played against Barbosa, who's playing in the NBA Finals right now. So that's a trip watching him on TV.
It's creating conversation, and we here at Collab right now. I got the owners of Dumb Jocks with me. This is
Right. It's LuQuam.
Where does the name Dumb Jocks come from?
It's basically a lifestyle. We were thinking of creating a clothing line. We were going back and forth, going through names and stuff, and then I just thought about how we got to where we were at the time we were in college. I think we were like juniors at the time. And then I thought about all of us and thought about how we play sports all our lives, and that's how we met each other. And but we all were in college, not just from sports, but through academics too.
So it started in your college years, correct?
Yeah, it started in college years.
Okay. So you guys went to different colleges. You were at Whitman, you were at Wazoo. How was it not being right next to each other and starting a clothing line?
I'll say pretty much it was tough at times, but we had technology so we can bounce ideas off each other back and forth. So every day I'm sending Kwame a picture of something.
What is really what you feel like represents a dumb jock?
So I think the biggest part of our logo is the backwards D. So that's basically showing that it's different. So being a dumb jock is being different, not afraid to do your work, not afraid to do things that will make you successful.
Let's talk about you guys' relationships. How long have you guys known each other?
Pretty much we met first day, kindergarten.
That's crazy.
Stanley, first day, walked in, clicked up, and it's been homie since.
How did you use what you learned on the court and apply that to your life after college, after high school, when you got into the real world?
Through sports, you just learn hard work, dedication, especially if you're trying to go somewhere with your sport.
Yeah, you're trying to be great.
You're trying to be great.
Yeah.
Learn hard work, how to work with others, because you need that for team environment.
I feel we both gotten more creative over the time, and especially with using the Adobe, the Illustrator, the Photoshops, and all that. College helped us get that, but I feel like the two of us have bounced ideas off each other so much that we've learned almost more than I learned in school.
So you invested your time into something that you really felt strongly about in graphic design, and learned on your own.
Yeah,
more.
Pretty much. You should have seen like some of the first designs we had. I almost said it right.
Yeah. Senior year, who's beating who in one-on-one?
Easy.
Who's the better basketball player in their prime, DeAndre or Kwame?
Numbers don't lie.
We known each other since grade school. We really got close, middle school and high school, developed a brotherhood. And man, it's crazy to see that the progress that everybody's taking in their steps in life. Collab with the Dumb Jocks clothing line here, right in the background. And appreciate y'all coming out, man. Let's talk about what life looks like for Brandon Brown after basketball. What do you see for yourself? What's like big picture?
Big picture.
Big picture.
Hopefully I have some children.
Yeah.
I have a wife. I have a house. I love Tacoma, but I don't gotta live in Tacoma. You know, I'm a family-oriented guy. Family, kids. Hopefully I've been smart with my money that I've been making while I'm playing professionally. I can hopefully have some investments, maybe some real estate.
You will have some investments, some real estate.
Right.
What were you thinking straight out of college? What am I gonna do if I don't?
Oh man, it's scary to think, but I was just like, plan A is to go overseas, plan B is to figure out how to go overseas, plan C is to figure out how to figure out getting overseas. I mean, I hate to say it because, you know, you hear this all the time, is don't put your eggs in one basket. And I didn't feel like I was putting my eggs in one basket because it was like, I don't have a basket. I got my pockets and these are mine and I'm doing what I want. And so I didn't want to be at the mercy of, okay, well maybe I should be conservative and just play it safe. You know, if I wanted to play overseas, I was going to be all in. And if I was going to fail, I was going to fail right on my face and figure out a way to get up. If you are so concerned and consumed with what happens if I don't make it, the probability of you not making it is just going up because you're preparing for it. And nothing's wrong with, you know, getting ready for if something doesn't work out, but I didn't want that to consume me. And so I took the other route, and plan A, B, and C was we're gonna figure out a way to make this thing work.
A lot of people have the plan or the dream to do it, you know, and then it doesn't shape out the way they want it to. You're living this journey, this dream right now.
For sure.
So what type of game, can you give to somebody that has that same passion?
If you look in the mirror and say, you got however much money you got, will you put your money on yourself? I would, every time. And so, I mean, if you're not willing to put your money on yourself, what are you willing to put your money on? You know what I'm saying?
If and not, so, you need to get yourself to that point.
Right. And so, it's a trip because you hear, like I said, you hear it all the time of, you know, make sure you're careful. And why does our generation have to be so conservative, and why not go after if you really want something, go after it full throttle?
Sounds like you got a pretty good head on your shoulders over there, man. It's not very, I'm not used to really talking to younger people that have a good head on their shoulders like that, man. So really, I'm just wondering, who are your influences kind of growing up? What's really been influencing you, and who did you kind of look up to, like role models or anything of that nature that kind of helped you get where you're at?
It started with my parents. I mean, thankfully, I'm blessed. Both my parents are still together. They've been together my whole life. And, you know, me and my dad are really close. Like I said a while ago, he wouldn't let me really run from any situation or circumstance. It was like, you gotta face it head up. You gotta face it. You got your hand, you gotta play it and figure out a way.
You have both parents, and a lot of people that we grow up around, you know what I'm saying, that may not be the case.
For sure.
So they don't hear what your dad told you. You know what I'm saying? They're not hearing what mom told you. But this platform gives them a chance to really pick up some of that game.
For sure.
And for us to mentor, you know, not indirectly, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, so where they can hear somebody that they respect, somebody that they know has gone through it, didn't make varsity my freshman year, didn't go D1, but I'm living my professional career.
Right.
Doubters.
Exactly, and I'm proving people wrong every single time that I step on the court.
It's a trip that you say proving people wrong, because I was stuck in a mode of I have to prove those people wrong. Remember those people who said you were too small? And I got to a point where it was like, why am I so consumed with proving people wrong when I can, who cares what they think? Let me prove myself right, and then I'll reward myself. Okay, you said you wanted to go, you are a pro. Go pro, you are a pro now. You proved yourself right. Like I said, I'll bet on myself. Why am I going around betting against other people's odds for me? Why does it matter? All that matters is the bet that I'm making on myself.
Live your dream, like whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a lot of people, they don't really find their passion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it's not finding your passion, it's, you know, I feel like people are consumed by fear of not making it, or fear of, you know, coming up short, or fear of just not being all that they planned out. And it's okay. That's part of the learning process, I feel like. Right.
We measure ourselves up to other people.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes, or a lot of times, that's not the best thing to do for us as people.
Right.
You found your passion early, right? You already knew I wanted to play professional basketball since you were here hooping, and they wouldn't put you on the squad. So once you find that passion, a person may not find that passion until their 20s, their 30s. They're, you know what I'm saying? They may not, you know, they may not find that. You were lucky enough to find it early and dedicate a lot of time and dedicate yourself and really bet on yourself to get to that position. I really found it my passion just a few months ago doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people take steps and they like I was saying, they measure themselves up to other people and how their lives are going. But really, if you find that passion and put everything that you have into
your
that
whole
passion,
being, man.
Your whole being, everything that you have, man, you're gonna take lumps, you're gonna take bruises, but you'll be able to live and look yourself in the mirror. We just want to thank you for coming on, being a part of creating conversation.
No, I appreciate it.
We look forward to tracking your career. Hopefully we could take a trip to one of these countries
one of these crazy countries.
You know, and watch you play.
Randomly bump into you in random places.
Yeah, man. Hopefully somebody, you know, I can touch somebody who's younger and just have some type of impact. If it touches one person, if they feel it, then I'll be happy.
Creating conversation.